Oh, sorry, I totally got distracted by my Instastory. Hey, and that brings me to the topic that I want to talk with you about in today's video, because I quit Instastory for almost 30 days and I want to talk with you today about how that experiment went for me. So let's get started. Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia Arndt and I'm a peak performance coach and stress management trainer. And because of exactly that, I like to do little experiments and be my own guinea pig in understanding what kind of things influence our mental health and what can we do in order to get back to our peak performance. And because I had recently spent way too much time on my Insta story, I decided to take a break. In fact, I was off Insta story for almost 30 days. Not exactly 30 days, but hey, it was an experiment and I tried it out. I didn't set myself a super hard deadline. I just wanted to test it out and see how I feel about it. So in today's video, I want to share a couple of things with you that I just realized during this process and that might inspire you to take a break from Insta story as well. So first of all, you might be wondering, what exactly did I do? Did I still go on Instagram? Did I remove completely the app from my phone? All of these different things. And the answer is, hey, I made it really, really simple. And the only thing that I didn't do for almost 30 days was to not post any Instagram stories, because I am a business owner and I'm building this business and I always spend a lot of time on building Instagram stories as well. But not only did I realize did I spend time on creating these stories, but I also spend a lot of time on checking these stories, right? I'm sure that all of you can relate to this weird habit that you are posting some things on Insta story and then like 2 hours later or even 30 minutes later, you check all of your own Insta stories again and you see how it looks and you see if you like it. And then of course, you also see if people have responded to it. You see what kind of people watched your Insta stories and all these different kinds of things, right? We always find amazing reasons how to keep ourselves distracted from things that we should actually be doing. And so, as you can imagine, miraculously, when I stopped posting Instagram stories, I also got a lot of time and energy back, which is obviously your most important resource if you want to become or stay a peak performer. So it was really powerful to me to not post any Instagram stories because I simply just saved so much time on a daily basis. And you know what? I still posted pictures on my Instagram feed because I still wanted to, of course, share with my community my YouTube videos, my podcasts, and just a couple of different quotes and like inspirational things. And I also still watched Insta stories of other people from time to time. But just the sheer thing of pulling out one little thing out of my social media habits was still a super powerful thing. The next thing that I realized when I was off Insta story for a couple of weeks was that I had a lot more time to enjoy the present moment. That is probably not a surprise to you, but it's pretty powerful when we are doing these breaks to see what kind of impact it actually has on our lives when we do it and when we don't do it. So for example, I have a puppy and I go with him 2 or 3 times a day on a walk. And usually before, when I posted Insta stories, I always had on top of my mind, what kind of things can I actually capture in order to post on Insta story right now or later. And so you're just kind of walking around with that in mind. And I feel like you're completely losing touch with what is actually important and how beautiful actually our surroundings are. We are not really present. And even when you're taking your phone and you're taking a video or a picture and you put it back in your pocket, it's still not the same thing, because instead of pulling my phone out over the last couple of weeks, I just enjoyed these moments. I just looked at the beautiful nature, or I just let my thoughts wander, and it was really, really beautiful. So that was my first realization actually that I had when I started being off Insta story, and I really, really loved it. I really felt like I had more time for myself. I had more quality time with my puppy and obviously also with other people. And I was more present. So that was something super, super powerful. And I'm definitely going to be a lot more mindful of that in the future, because Insta story is also this weird thing where we feel like we are more connected with people or we are connecting with people, but it actually pulls us more away from being in the present moment. And one interesting thing that I realized since I have been back on Instastory for the last 2 days is how much time I am spending again on checking my stories, checking DMs, and just being in general distracted, which is super interesting because when you're doing these kind of experiments, it's not just interesting to observe yourself while you don't do something, but also to observe yourself how quickly you get back into these old bad habits. So I've been back on Insta stories and here I am again. I am checking my phone when I feel like I actually need a break and I should walk away from my desk and I should walk away from my phone. But it is such a distraction, right? It is such a little thing that we do so many times throughout the day just to keep ourselves kind of entertained. And so this is definitely something that I want to be super more mindful of, to maybe even have times during the day where I check my Insta story, where I post certain things and then really put my phone away for the rest of the day. And it obviously has a super strong effect on your mental health as well, which was one of the reasons why I decided to go off it, because I was at the end obsessed with checking who had checked my stories, how many people had watched it, how many people DM'd me, and it's not healthy. I think if we are honest with ourselves, we could probably spend all day long on Instagram, right? We could look at stories and look at pages and look at all of these different things and hashtags and reels and all the things that Instagram is offering nowadays, but it is pulling us away from the present moment. So not being on Insta story for almost 30 days was such a powerful, cool thing for me, and I honestly didn't really miss it. The only thing that I missed at the end was that I wanted to talk to my community and I wanted to share certain things about my business. And that's where I was really motivated to actually take my phone out and post something on Instastory, because I feel like normal posts on Instagram are not powerful enough anymore. You need to grab the attention from your community in all different sorts and forms, because there are so many distractions, because there's so much content and so much information out there. And I'm obviously aware of that. So that's why I was really missing to post Insta stories, because I really felt sometimes motivated to share something with my community that way. And that was hard, but it was okay because it was only for a couple of weeks and I totally knew that. And I totally calmed myself down with that as well, telling myself, hey, I can really do that again when I'm back on Insta story, and I'm just going to enjoy the time that I have at the moment. So to sum it up, being off Insta story for almost 30 days was a really powerful realization for me. I feel like I was more mindful, less anxious, and had more time for other things, more important things in my life, or to even just take more powerful breaks throughout the day, right? So I can just really encourage you to test it out as well and to take a social media break in order to observe what kind of habits you have actually created, what kind of things have become so automatic to you, and what are maybe habits that you can create to have a better work-life balance. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have tried it out, leave me a comment down below and let me know how you found it being off social media or being off Instagram or being off Instagram stories or anything like that. And yeah, I'm really curious to hear how your experience went. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and I really hope to see you in the next one.